Hi, I'm Paul with Themis Digital Marketing. I'm here to talk about my SEO audit that I do. So, just kind of briefly, the point of the SEO audit is to give you an idea of what's going on with your website and your digital assets, and trying to figure out what's working and what isn't and what can be improved. So at the end of this, I give you a full report, and that's what I have on the screen now. This is for Twin Cities Marriage and Family Therapy, whose results I've talked about previously. And this is the foundation of any work I do. So I figure I'll kind of dig deep into kind of what happens in that and kind of what are the factors I look at and why are they important. Maybe you'll learn a little bit about your website already before we even do the official thing. So kind of my guidelines for this audit are based on a study done by HubSpot, talking about different SEO, search engine optimization factors that kind of determine why you rank and why you don't. So on the left here are some local pack factors. So there's that's for Google Maps. You know, are you showing up when people go into Google Maps and search for like chiropractor? And then localized organic rankings is when people are actually in organic search on the google.com website and type into the search bar. Do you show up in those results? So the main reason why you would show up are link signals. You know, does Google see your site as being authoritative? Are a lot of people linking to your site? And also, I mean, are you linking out to, you know, relevant sites in your niche? So that's the biggest. Kind of paired with that is your on-page signals. So in the back end of your website, is everything set up so Google can easily read what's happening on your pages? And other things, you know, I have like 100 things on this point that I look for, and it's important to get everyone precise. So having the right name, address, and phone is one of those 100 things, and keywords and titles, things like that. So, you know, basically to kind of illustrate this, you know, if I'm looking at the back end of a website, what I mean is how does Google see your site? It doesn't see it like we do. Instead, it kind of looks at it like this, you know. If there's any images, Google can't read images. It has to read it as a text. So having things to denote what those are is important. But, you know, basically I go through and I look and make sure that everything in this back end is appropriate. Is the description set up right? Nice. Are the robots allowed to crawl your site so Google can even find your site in the first place? So specifically Googlebot and Bingbot, you know. A lot of sites don't have that set up, and if you're not getting any results, that could be part of it. But, you know, basically, you know, 100 things that I look for when it comes to this. The next important thing is behavioral signals. When people get on your site, click-through rate is, you know, do they click through your site or do they click away? Do they bounce? Do they engage with your site? Contact forms, click-to-call buttons, things like that. Google can see that people are doing that. So making sure that the design of your site is good is important for this point. So that's why I keep that in mind as I work on pages, and, you know, if I work with other people, I make sure that they keep that in mind as well. Google My Business, important citations like yellow pages. There's thousands of citations that make up the whole ecosystem. So, you know, how are those citations? And reviews, are you getting quality reviews? Are you getting them quite often? Social signals, are you posting and are people engaging with your content that's like on blogs on your website, things like that. So this kind of forms the basis of my SEO audit. So when I go through, you know, if you have pay-per-click, Google Ads, I go through that as well. I look at, you know, what are your top keywords currently, kind of some basic overviews. Is it responsive? Is your homepage set up well? Are people linking to your site enough? You know, what are the what's in the text of the links that people are sending to you? on page, again, like I talked about, the back end of the page for the rest of your pages, what's going on with that, is your content good, and that kind of leads you to different keywords that you might not be ranking for and some keywords that you might want to target. So I'll give you a list of some keywords that are useful in your area that could bring you clients. So you show up when people search for high intent keywords like marriage therapist near me. People don't tend to search that just for fun. Maybe some different ideas for kind of making a unique value proposition. Like Christian counseling is searched quite a bit and there's not a lot of competition, so something like that is attractive if that's your style. Citations, again, like I talked about, yellow pages, are they error free? Are they in all major directories? There's some errors with the phone number here, so that's something I had to go in and kind of work on. Your Google My Business setup, your pay-per-click analysis, and then just kind of a whole list of things that I work on and recommend you work on. And also, for some people, they find it useful to kind of figure out why their competitors are outranking them. So I can help walk you through that and give you some basic pointers as to what you're not doing right that your competitors are, and how you can ultimately be better than that. And very few people are doing all of this 100% correctly. Even people who are ranking first in your area. So, given the right SEO and right commitment to building content on your site, that's something that you can overcome in 6 months on average. So that's my SEO audit. If you're interested, you can contact me in the link in the description. Hopefully it should give you kind of a good idea of what's covered in it, things I look for, some ways that you can use it to benefit your business. Thanks.